Hey, welcome back to Evil's Comics. I'm Evil Mike, and I got a review for you from Image Comics. This is Creepshow #1. It is going to be an anthology horror series like the movie and show. Movies. It's got two different stories in this one. Take One is written by Chris Burnham, also art by Chris Burnham. Colors is Adriano Lucas, and then letters is Pat Brosseau. And then the second story is Shingo, is written by Paul Dini and Stephen Langford. Art by John McCrea. Colors by Mike Spicer, and letters also by Pat Brosseau. Honestly, the art and stories were excellent, especially for a first issue. It quickly starts out with our Crypt guy, and I don't know his name. I know Crypt Keeper and some of the other anthology guys, but I don't remember his name, so if you do, let me know down below. He doesn't mention it here. That's all you get from him is, hey, I got these two stories, and here's the first one. Basically, it's called Take One. It's these three kids. They're on Halloween. It's really two older, like teens and a younger kid. But they come across a house that has a story attached to the house. Supposedly it was a husband and wife, and they were supposed to be like mean and even people. There's like rumors, and basically there was like a kid that one Halloween or something like that, his bike accidentally like crash landed on the guy on their doorstep or something like that, and the husband ended up shooting the kid. It was all a rumor that the kid ended up dying in a different fashion. It had nothing to do with his house, but there is like a thing where the daughter of the husband and wife, and they're called I can't remember. But the daughter ends up coming home and shooting the father in the head, and that's what kills the father. But basically, they walk up to the house, and it's basically got a bowl that says "Take One." The kid gets made fun of because he's scared to take one because of all the rumors and everything that's attached to the house. Eventually, he does take one. The other kids take the rest. They leave the bowl empty. As they are kind of like walking along and stuff, the kid feels so guilty, and he comes up with the plan to to get rid of the evidence. He ends up eating the candy bar and then throwing the wrapper away, and as he does, he ends up seeing that it is cursed, and he sees the husband of the home coming after him, full with the blown up head kind of thing. He ends up taking off, in such fashion where it knocks all the other kids' candies out. The other kids are sitting there making fun of him and talking about what they really thought about him and why they were keeping him around kind of thing. And not even noticing that the zombie dad is walking up behind him, but he quickly in bloody gory fashion kills both of them, and then eventually finds the third one that runs off, the third one revealing that he shouldn't have took one all along, and eventually he's like, oh, I can fix this. And he ends up throwing up the whole candy bar back into the wrapper because the zombie does have the wrapper, and he's kind of holding it to the kid. So the kid figures he wants the candy bar back, and they kind of leave it at there. The kid asks the question, well, did I fix it? And that's where we go back to our narrator. And the narrator kind of saying, well, did he make it out alive? Did he fix the situation? And of course he did not. And coming to find out, thinking about the story, since he knew about the dad and all that, and about the story behind it, he was the most guilty one of them all. So he was killed the worst kind of thing. And that's the end of the first story. The second story is called Shingo, and it's basically a birthday party. It's a mom that's throwing a birthday party for her daughter. The dad was supposed to take care of the details of the party, and for some reason or other he has not. So at the last second, the mom is like struggling to find like a performer or a magician or something like that, and she gets a knock at the door. The knock at the door, she receives a card that says, hey, call Shingo for birthday parties and fun and songs. And she does just that. She calls Shingo, and Shingo shows up at the birthday party. Shingo, as you can see, is this very, I mean, he looks lovable and kind of, but I mean, you can also see that he can be menacing at the same time. But, I mean, he does show up and he starts singing and dancing. The kids are all having a good time. The daughter of the birthday girl, she's a little weirded out because, for one, she doesn't know where Shingo is from. She doesn't recognize him. She kind of likes that her mom got like somebody for the party, but then she kind of spends the rest of her time trying to figure it out with another friend who Shingo is, and they kind of like make like jokes that he could be a Pokemon and stuff like that. Shingo just stating that he's just Shingo. He does state that, I mean, he kind of tells them plainly like where he's from, and that's kind of where we see the first dark tones from Shingo right here. And they ask Shingo where he's from, and he says a land far, far away, and then he gives this detail. He says Shingo conjured into this dimension 1,000 years ago from screaming abyss of dark horror. Shingo trapped here and must feed on the spawn of human scum. So it kind of tells him exactly what he's there to do. The birthday girl does finding a single article online from like 11th century like history or something like that says Shingo is called Shingo the Ravager, and he's supposed to be a man-eating deathless monster, like he can't die. As soon as this happens, like the kids start noticing, and they kind of show you right here, like he does pick up this boy, and then the next scenes the boy is just gone or whatever, but the birthday girl and her friends start noticing that some of the friends are missing from the party, and Shingo just mentioning that they're gone, that they'll see them soon kind of thing. At this point the dad does come in, and sure enough he did end up bringing like it's like a birthday princess, and something like Sparkleshine is her name, Princess Sparkleshine, and it is somebody that their daughter likes or something like that, like maybe a TV star or something like that. But as soon as this happened, the mom and dad kind of like go at each other's throats. The mom is kind of pissed off that the dad showed up without any kind of like, you know, calling or anything like that, and this is kind of where the story gets crazy. Shingo just, you know, he's really hungry, and he just starts eating everybody, to the point where like the mom and dad are fighting so much, Shingo eventually eats them. I mean, he does it in such a like crazy fashion. They're all sitting here talking, and then all of a sudden he just grabs them, and they're still talking as Shingo is eating them. And then it gets to where Shingo starts looking for the birthday girl and her friend, realizing that they're the only two people that he hasn't eaten. So he starts running around claiming that he's playing hide and go seek. The birthday girl kind of gets like weirded out, and she starts going off on her mom and dad, and the other girl having a reminder that they have this monster that's trying to eat everybody. Eventually the birthday girl like takes this piñata and kind of literally turns Shingo into a piñata and starts beating the living crap at him, to the point where he kind of explodes, and all the people that he ate come out kind of just like a piñata, but a human piñata. But all the people come out, they're all saved, and it looks like he just ate them whole, like literally. And we go back to the Crypt Keeper, with that being, I'm calling him Crypt Keeper because I don't know his name. I don't remember his name. But we go back to the narrator of the story, and he kind of explains that we thought that Shingo was the bad guy of the story, and it comes to find out that there was a more dangerous monster at that party, being the birthday girl. And they do kind of show you that Shingo is like deathless, like he's still like in pieces, but he's still over here in the trash can like talking like, Shingo don't want to do any more birthday parties. And that's kind of where that's it. Honestly, it was a great read. It was gory, it was bloody, it was exactly what I was hoping for. It does say that next month we will get 2 more new stories, one called the Gorgamora Tree, and the other one's called The Creator's Rights. And that's kind of all they give us. They give us like a preview of the cover. There is this one little story at the end. It's Arthur, and Arthur is like digging this grave. It's his wife, and he's basically burying his wife. As he's burying his wife, like the body starts talking, and at first Arthur thinks it is his wife. and it is not. Basically, the voice starts telling Arthur that, that his life sucks, and then, he knows what needs to happen next, basically kind of like a suicide thing. And that's where this little, like, short story cuts off. Now, they do give this advertisement for Dark Ride. I'm not positive if this goes with that, or if this is just like a weird little short story at the end of Creepshow. I'm not sure. It didn't state or say, or it's kind of weird. But that is my review for Creepshow #1 from Image Comics. It was fantastic. It was a great read. It was everything I wanted. But that's all I got for you. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Comment down below. Did you read it? What'd you think? If you didn't read it after hearing all this, did it line up with your idea of how Creepshow should go? If you do know that narrator's name, let me know. I can't remember what they called him or whatever. But that's all I got for you. I'll see y'all later. Bye!